Hey, what's up everyone, it's the Night King Paradox that's bringing you the video I've wanted to do for quite a while, the discussion of Doflamingo at the end of the Dressrosa arc. And I'm also going to throw in a little bit of what I think about Kaido, since now he's been revealed. So let's get down to it. This arc, I could have done my view of Doflamingo a couple of weeks ago, and I could have waited a little longer, just to throw that out there. I wanted to do it sooner because technically the fight between Luffy and Doflamingo is over. But you know how Oda works, how now that Doflamingo's been beaten and captured by the Marines, you know, they might show something where he reveals or hints to something else big later on in the series. But I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't really want to wait a couple more weeks and see if that is the case. So I'm just going to talk about what I know now, my thoughts, and move on from there. So, this arc, I don't know if a lot of people understand the magnitude of how big this arc is already in the depths of the entire series. Because a lot of big things happened, and of course people have been throwing around their theories and things like that. All that's fine, but when you sit down and you think about everything that happened this arc, and what it entails for future arcs and the arcs that have already happened, it's actually one of the more important arcs in the series thus far. And let me just go step by step. Doflamingo, as we all know, is the underworld broker known as Joker, who we all know deals in anything that wants to be kept out of the public or world government eye. Human trafficking, drugs, information, anything that anyone wants to keep out of the public eye, or they want to do it more covertly, they go through Doflamingo. Now that Doflamingo has been taken out, not only does that fuck up Kaido, because now Kaido can't get his artificial devil fruit army bigger than it already is, but they also showed how a whole bunch of different militia groups and countries and other pirates also get screwed over by this as well, because Doflamingo was their go-to guy to get weapons, resources, you know, anything they needed. So Doflamingo played a very, very big role in the New World, because he was the guy to go to, like I said, whenever you want something done under the table, covertly, out of anyone's view. So, with him gone, that takes out that part of the equation. But that's not all. According to Law's plan, first they took out Caesar Clown, who was making Sad and the artificial devil fruits. So, now those are gone, and they're destroying the factories. They destroyed the one on Punk Hazard and the one on Dressrosa. Okay. I believe those were the two main ones. I don't really remember how many of them there were, but I'm assuming there's a couple more scattered around here and there. But Caesar Clown is still with the Straw Hats. So I really don't know what's going to happen there, because technically he's their captive. It's not like Vivi or Kinemon or anyone like that where they're just traveling with them for a little while. No, he's an actual captive. Kuroseki cuffs and all. So, not only do they have him, which could be a good asset if you think about it, because he is highly intelligent. You know, he is a scientist who worked under Vegapunk. So, he knows a lot of things. You know, he created SAD and artificial devil fruits. Vegapunk did it too, but it's his spin on it. So, they do have a scientist at their disposal for the moment. Now, how long he's going to be with them, no idea. How useful he's going to be, no idea. But he's there. So he could play a bigger role later on. It's just too early to tell. But not only that, I usually have PowerPoints. I don't have them at the moment, so I'm kind of just rummaging around in my head. Sad, devil fruits, see the clown. Doflamingo taken out. Yes, that was a big thing. But now Doflamingo's been taken out entirely. Like, his crew, the Doflamingo family, and Doflamingo himself are gone. So, like I said, that's a pretty big part of the equation in the new world, just completely gone. So, Law and Luffy are fucking up the new world bad. And this early on, too. We haven't even gotten to the serious parts yet. That's the scary part. We just started in the new world. And we're fucking up everything. Oh, man. Just sitting down and thinking about that, you're just like, you don't even see the magnitude of it. Because it's so vast and so out there that the magnitude of this doesn't even compare in the slightest. And I'm just like, dude. Alright. Moving on. Like I said, I want to talk about Doflamingo primarily because he was my favorite Shishibukai. Or I should say the one I found the most interesting. And we actually did get a lot of information about him. How his backstory with Rosinato and Law. And how he was back then. Sorry, I have an itch in my eye. But we got all of that. We got how he was back when he was a little kid. Which I thought that was the most interesting. Because he was a Tenryubito. Then his parents decided they wanted to denounce their status and live among the commoners. Then his mom passed away because of an illness. And Doflamingo's running around thinking he still has Tenryubito status. So he thinks he can just do whatever he wants, and these pathetic people just have to bow to his every whim. And then when it finally comes out that they were Tenryubito, him, Rosinato, and his dad are shackled up to the wall above the city. And that's when Doflamingo, I feel, is really born. And a lot of people can say that too, because that was the moment he decided no one is going to stand above me. And he's crying, screaming at the top of his lungs on the wall, saying, I'm going to kill every last one of you. And then his hockey comes into play. And then after the people who had their torches and pitchforks were conked out, and they were off the wall, he shoots his own dad. Because he blamed him for everything. It was because of you, Mother died. If we were back home, she wouldn't have gotten sick and died. You're the reason I don't have my status anymore. And then, of course, that's when he came across all those people, Diamante, Trebol, all of them. I can never remember their names. Diamante, Trebol, Pika, and I can never remember the other guy's name. The guy in Punk Hazard with the stuff sticking to his face. I can never remember his name, but I digress. That's when he came across all of them. He got his string fruit ability, plus his pistol, which he used to kill his dad, and then... No, actually, I'm not going to say kill his dad, I'm going to say execute. Because that's what he pretty much did with that pistol, is he held it to his dad's face and then shot him, execution style. Then he did the same thing to Rosinato. Wait. Yeah, Rosinato. Back in the Law flashback, when he got his Opera fruit, which I thought that was a pretty interesting flashback. Didn't really touch a whole lot on Doflamingo, but it did touch a whole lot on Law and Rosinato. So that was interesting. But I did find it interesting seeing the evolution of Doflamingo's mindset during the Law flashback, because you could just see, just by the look on his face, what was going through his head. Like, finding out that his own brother was working for the Marines and pretty much double-crossing him, and everything that just happened. So him execution-style shooting Rosinato, I feel fucked up Doflamingo even more, which led to the egotistical sociopath we know nowadays. Then when he tried to do it on Law, current time, and he's just unloading shots into Law, execution style, with that very same pistol that Trebol gave him. Virgo, that was the guy's name. I always remember it right after I stopped thinking about it. But yeah, him unloading bullets into Law. Luckily, Law did his room switch with another person, so he managed to get out of that. But then, after that, I just want to make this very clear. Luffy, even with Gear 4, could not have beaten Doflamingo. I don't care what anyone says. Gear 4 Luffy could not have beat Doflamingo. Why? Because before he got injured, Doflamingo was just fucking around. He wasn't being serious. We all know Doflamingo is never serious. Even when he was fighting Law with the help and without the help of fucking... Oh, what was his name? Oh, I hate that. I'm so bad with names. The fucking Admiral, Fujitora. Yeah. When he was with Fujitora and without Fujitora, he was just fucking around for the most part. Then, of course, after a while, he did start getting more serious, but he still wasn't completely serious. And I'll get to that in a moment. It was because of Law wounding Doflamingo with, I believe it was the Gamma Knife, he called it. It was because of Doflamingo being wounded by Law that Luffy was able to beat him. And mind you, barely. Luffy barely beat Doflamingo with Gear 4. Gear 4 was awesome. Everyone knows it. It looks badass. But if he would have gone up against Law one-on-one, both at full power starting off, Doflamingo would have won. I don't care what anyone says. Doflamingo would have won. But because Law wounded him, severely wounded him, he wasn't at full power. Now, the argument people can make for this, that I'm about to touch with, I do see their point. But, mind you, that he was wounded. Badly wounded. before Gear 4. Because Doflamingo stated that Luffy did not have the power to harm him. Speed-wise, he was but he didn't have the power. Then Luffy went Gear 4. Speed-wise and power-wise were enough to fuck up Doflamingo. But it took a little while and a little more than usual. Because Luffy goes through Gear 4 through one segment, fucks up Doflamingo after he was wounded, and then Doflamingo does what nobody expected. Devil Fruit Awakening. Turning the entire area around him into strings and using them to just fuck up everybody. The civilians, possibly people in his own crew that were in the area, everybody. So, a little while before that, Doflamingo stated that there was an ultimate ability for every devil fruit. A peak, if you will. And with Laws, it was the immortal surgery, where he can grant someone eternal youth. I don't want to say eternal life, but eternal youth. But it would cost Law his own life. And as I stated before in another video, that's Oda's way of saying that he might use that ability at some point, which will lead to Law's death. Because you don't just drop that bit of information and not expect to use it. So he was talking about how there was a peak to the Devil Fruit's abilities, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's only so much you can do with one power. So, we get that bit of information, which is nice, because it now creates a level cap for Devil Fruits. But then we get Devil Fruit Awakening, which is harnessing the true power of your Devil Fruit. And in Doflamingo's case, because his ability was strings, he turned everything around him into strings, which is badass. But now, the moment that little bit of information came out, the internet went nuts saying, oh, this is what awakened Devil Fruits are gonna be. This person already has awakened Devil Fruits. Fucking Magellan, Crocodile, Chopper, Doflamingo, the Admirals, they all have awakened Devil Fruits. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not confirmed yet. Because a lot of people could have said back in the day that Gear 3 was Awakened Devil Fruit Luffy. And we have Gear 4 now, so that's clearly not the case. So, as far as I'm concerned, there are only 5 Awakened Devil Fruit users in One Piece thus far. Because they are confirmed, not theorized. Who are they? Doflamingo and the 4 demon guards in Impel Down. Because they stated how they were awakened Zoan Devil Fruit users. So, those are the only ones we know for a fact. Of course, like I said, a lot of people are saying Magellan, Chopper, Whitebeard, Blackbeard, the Admirals, Crocodile. You know, they're all saying they're awakened Devil Fruit users, but until I actually see confirmation saying, yes, this person is, or I am, an awakened Devil Fruit user, I'm not going to call them that. I don't care what anyone says. That's how I'm going to roll with it. So we get all that, and of course, we get another bit of information from Luffy that I didn't never think would be a case, where he said he had to wait for his haki to replenish. Didn't know haki ran like a fuel tank, but okay. So, apparently now that we have awakened devil fruits, but also you can only use large amounts of haki in short bursts. So, apparently that's a thing now. But after Doflamingo's defeat, of course, everybody knows it now. And I'm not going to go through every member of his crew because, for one, I don't remember all their names because I'm just horrible with names if you can't tell already. But, aside from that, I'm wanting to focus on Doflamingo, the repercussions of his defeat in the New World, and Kaido. And quite possibly Big Mom too. But with Doflamingo's defeat, like I said, the underworld portion of the New World has been fucked up severely. He might not have been the only underworld broker, but he was by far the most important. So now, Law got his revenge on Doflamingo for killing Rosinato. Doflamingo's taken out, so that weakens Kaido, along with a lot of other nations and people, and it prevents anyone from doing any under-the-table dealings, for the most part. But, like I said, now that Doflamingo is beaten, he's been captured by the world government. They're not going to kill him. Someone like Doflamingo, you can't kill him. Because he knows things that the world government doesn't know, that the Yonko know, and he knows things because he's a Tenryubito and a Shishibukai, well, former now. He knows things that the world government knows that the Yonko don't. He has stated that he knows the secret treasure of the Tenryubito, or the world government. I can't remember exactly which one it was. It was one of the two, but they're pretty much tied together anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But he knows something, or he knows several things, I should say, that nobody else knows, or that very few people know. So he can't be killed, which is a good yet bad thing, because a person like Doflamingo, now that he's fallen from grace entirely, they should have offed him off. They shouldn't have captured him. They should have just put a Kuroseki bullet right through his brain. Pow. Boom. Don't have to worry about him anymore. The world is safe from Doflamingo. But he's too valuable. He knows so much. Because he deals with everybody. World government, Yonko, nations. He has his hand in everyone's pocket, pretty much. But the big thing... which everyone knows already, is his dealings with Kaido. Now that Kaido can't get his artificial devil fruits anymore, that stunts his army's growth, power-wise. Doflamingo, who is one of the strongest Shishibukai, who knew so much, was scared shitless of Kaido. Kaido terrified him. The man who didn't want anybody looking down from above him wouldn't think to even dare cross Kaido. He can't give Kaido his goods anymore. Kaido's pissed. When we finally saw Kaido, we understood why Doflamingo was so scared. Kaido can't die. He can't die. This motherfucker plummeted from 10,000 meters straight up from a sky island, face planted the ground, made a crater that sent a shockwave that destroyed several big ships, and he got up like it was nothing. He can't die. They stated that he cannot die. He's been captured by the Marines and the other Yonko several times, been tortured 1,000 or so different ways. They tried to chop his head off with a guillotine. The blade broke. They tried to hang him several times. The ropes and chains snapped. Spears would break when they reached his skin. Nothing can kill him. The motherfucker plummeted and lived. Didn't do nothing to him. Not a scratch, not a bruise. He didn't even have a speck of dirt on his shoulder. It did nothing. And he got up, saying, well, I guess this doesn't work either. This motherfucker's hobby is trying to kill himself. Who wouldn't be terrified? And the motherfucker is big. This dude's fucking big. He looks like a complete straight up demon. He's big. And he can't die. Nothing you do affects him. You would think that Kaido, having a devil fruit, would just walk in the water. Just walk in the water. It's right there. Just walk in the water. Drown yourself. You can't swim anyway. Just go in there and drown. But I've heard several theories about Kaido that scared me. He can't die. He's the strongest creature in the world. Whitebeard was the strongest man. Kaido was the strongest creature. He has an army of several hundred devil fruit users. Artificial devil fruit users, but devil fruit users, Zoans, nonetheless. It is not confirmed, but a lot of people are saying that he either has a Zoan devil fruit or a mythical Zoan devil fruit, like a Typhon or something. Which is why he's the strongest creature. You know, Zoan devil fruit become like this big animal monster. It makes a lot of sense. But we've never seen it. This is the first time we've ever seen Kaido in the previous chapter. We don't know nothing about the guy other than the fact that what he looks like and that he can't be killed. Or he doesn't know how he can be killed yet. Which is why one of his hobbies is attempting suicide, apparently. We've never seen him use a devil fruit before. So, technically, it is unconfirmed that he's even a devil fruit user. Wait. I know the argument, but I'm saying we have not seen it. I'm not saying he doesn't have one. I'm saying we haven't seen it. Until I see it, I'm not going to say he has it. Because he might not have a devil fruit. He more than likely does have one, but it's yet to be seen. We don't know what it is. Here are my theories on Kaido. One, he does have a Zoan devil fruit. which is why he's the strongest creature. But I've heard so many people say it's a mythical Zoan, it's a Typhon, or it's some other like mythical creature type deal. I can't remember what exactly it was, but I've heard several people say he was a mythical Zoan. You forget, this is Oda we're talking about. He can take something as useless as rubber and make it OP as shit. Look what he did with Law. Fucking Law. He can make a very simple ability OP as fuck. Kaido's called the strongest creature in the world. That means one of two things to me. Either A, he's a mythical Zoan, like a Typhon or some other mythical creature. A lot of people are saying demon devil fruit, like human demon model or some shit. I don't really know. But my theory is, just to throw it out there, I don't think he's a mythical Zoan. He could be. He easily could be. They're out there. But he might just be a regular Zoan. But then why would you think he's the strongest creature? Well, first off, the devil fruit doesn't make you the strongest creature. You make you the strongest creature. That's obvious. It's not the devil fruit, it's the devil fruit user. But the strongest creature in existence isn't a mythical creature. It's an ant. I can feel brain cells hurting and going, ah, at the same time. Kaido could possibly be an ant. Now I know what a lot of you are thinking, ant, puny, teeny, tiny little insect that you stomp on your foot and burn with a magnifying glass. How can that make you the strongest creature? A lot of people forget that an ant is the only creature in the real world that can lift, I can't remember if it was 10 times its own body weight or 100 times its own body weight. But an ant is literally the strongest creature in our world. So, for Oda to make him an ant, I wouldn't put it past him. Because, like I said, Kaido's a big motherfucker. I mean, he's huge. He's not Elbaf giant big, but he's pretty fucking big. Now imagine someone of his size and natural strength, and then throw in half ant. He would be able to pick up entire islands and hurl them just off into the horizon. Remember back when Garp was throwing cannonballs at Luffy's ship while they were trying to escape from Water 7? Yeah, it'd be like that, except with islands just miles. That's the thought I have, just some half human, half ant dude just hurling islands just left and right. That would be the strongest creature. Now, a lot of people did say that whatever it was in the Florian Triangle back in the end of Thriller Bark was Kaido, which for a long time I thought it was. Part of me still thinks that it is, just because it was some creature. We saw the eyes and everything. Well, we saw the shine of the eyes in the silhouette of this big monstrous creature. Like, you just saw Thrower Bark down here in the corner, just looking small, then you just see this gigantic creature with these two piercing eyes coming out of the mist. No one knows what that is to this day. I want to fucking know what that is. If that was Kaido, I'm gone. If that fucker was Kaido, I'm gone. Just, nope, turn the ship around, fuck this. Oh, but yes, I almost forgot about that. Why walking into the water wouldn't kill him. I saw a theory. I know I'm jumping around, but bear with me. I saw a theory saying that Kaido's devil fruit, if he does have one, could be kind of like Blackbeard's devil fruit. How Blackbeard's devil fruit allowed him to have more than one devil fruit ability at once. Kaido's devil fruit might give him the ability to not drown. Which is a scary thought, because you throw a devil fruit user in water, they sink. They can't move. They have all their energy drained. But what if Kaido has the one devil fruit that negates that? Kind of a scary thought, ain't it? And that mixes in with another theory of his I heard a while back, going all the way back to Alabasta. Remember when Chopper and Usopp came across that shop where that guy was selling gold-painted apples and saying like it was a fruit that allowed you to live for 1,000 years? And how apparently a lot of people are making the theory that it's in reference to an actual devil fruit that grants you immortality. A lot of people are theorizing that that's the devil fruit that Kaido ate. He didn't eat a mythical Zoan devil fruit or anything. He just ate a Paramecia devil fruit that granted him eternal life. So nothing can kill him. Which would make you the strongest creature, because no man can survive being killed and tortured so many times. So, that's been thrown out there. Do I believe it? I believe that a devil fruit like that could possibly exist, but I doubt it's Kaido's, because they're building him up to be like this monstrous creature, so it would make sense to give him a Zoan devil fruit of some kind. That would be a pretty big shock if he ate a devil fruit that prevented you from being killed. You know, that'd be pretty something, really. But another thing I want to talk about with him is the reason I think he can't be hurt like that deals with all of the Yonko in general. Shanks has the most powerful Conqueror's Haki that there is. That we know of, I should say. What if each of the Yonko have something that they are the most proficient of? I mean, Whitebeard had the strongest Paramecia devil fruit. He was also the strongest man in the world physically. Like, motherfucker was big. Shanks has the strongest Conqueror's Haki. I believe that the reason Kaido can't be hurt is because he has armament Haki so strong that it literally negates all damage. To where the guy can plummet 10,000 meters straight down and not take a single bit of damage. That's what I'm thinking in that regards, is where he just has such powerful armament Haki that he literally can't take any damage. Is it right? Probably not. But he's also a Yonko, so dude's got some massively powerful Haki. And the last thing I want to talk about with Kaido, and this kind of ties in with Big Mom a little bit, is Gecko Moria. Because, lest we forget, Gecko Moria got his ass beat by Kaido back in his heyday. And then Doflamingo at the end of the Paramount War was going after Gekko Moria, saying that he had orders from higher up than Sengoku to take him out, or capture him, or whatever. Because it's One Piece, I doubt he took him out. But it could have been orders from Kaido. Because there's a lot of people theorizing about the reason he built up a zombie army was to go up against Kaido's army, and the reason he was so fixated on ores was because he wanted a giant monster to go up against a giant monster. So, there's a possibility that we could get a reoccurrence from Gekko Moria sometime within the next 2 or 3 arcs, seeing as how that they're going to deal with Kaido. But on top of that, Lola, the woman we met back in Thrower Bark, who gave Nami a Vevre card that led her to her mother, who was a very strong pirate in the New World. Everybody knows that the person she's talking about is Big Mom. And what I think about that is, Luffy pretty much declared war on Big Mom. So they're going to have some battle somewhere at some time. And some shit's going to happen. People are going to get beat. People are going to... they're just going to have an all-out battle. And then near the tail end of it, like when Big Mom and Luffy are on their last legs, Lola's going to come in and tell Big Mom everything. And I don't want to say they're going to become allies, but something tells me after that, Big Mom and Luffy are going to have an understanding of sorts. They're not going to be allies, but they're not going to be enemies. So, if that happens before the fight with Kaido, that could actually tip the scales in their favor severely, because Big Mom being a Yonko would be on the same level as Kaido. Somewhat. The other thing that a lot of people are theorizing that I want to talk about is Law has been planning this for a very long time. And there was mention of it before the time skip. Because when X-Drake passed him while they were on Sabandi Archipelago, Law asks X-Drake, how many people have you killed? And X-Drake didn't respond. Then we see before the time skip, X-Drake went to an island where Kaido was said to frequent often. And then we see post-time skip, X-Drake is now working under Kaido. And then we see in the previous chapter, well actually the 2 previous chapters, Uruk up on the Sky Island, severely wounded it looked like. And then the next chapter, then the previous chapter, this previous one, we see Uruk watching a man on the edge of Sky Island, and he's praying. So, one of a few things happened there. Either Uruk had a prior engagement with Kaido at some point. He had a fight with Kaido, or he actually works under Kaido like X-Drake does. But that also made me think of this idea. Are Law and Luffy going to have to go up against Uruk and X-Drake because they work under Kaido? Or a lot of people are theorizing that it's actually the Luffy, Law, and X-Drake alliance against Kaido. And Kaido is just, and X-Drake is just going in and working under Kaido for intelligence purposes. But what about Uruk? Is he working under Kaido, or is he just not give a damn about Kaido, and so he's not an enemy or an ally? You know, I don't really know what's going on there just yet. So, it's really up in the air, but the last we saw of Kaido, he landed on the island where Kid, Hawkins, and Apu had their base, and he just lands right in front of them, and I'm just sitting there thinking, I'm just like, run. Just fucking run. Do some Looney Tunes, like, running in place, and then, beep, beep, boop. That's all you have to do at the moment, because do not fuck with Kaido. You are not ready. A voodoo doll, a human instrument, and Magneto up against an unkillable monster. Who do you think is gonna win? There's no way they're gonna beat him. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I threw out my ideas, I threw out my predictions, I threw out what we know at the moment. So this is the Mad King Parallax signing off, and I will bring you up, and I will come back with another video whenever I feel I have sufficient data to discuss it. So I will see you all then.